Let's talk about code status because there are so many people out there who unfortunately have no idea what this means, but it is so important to talk about and think about, especially if you're sick and in the hospital. What it really comes down to is in the event that your heart stops beating or that you can't breathe anymore on your own, do you want to be resuscitated or do you want to have a natural death? And this is an area where patients get to exercise their autonomy because for the most part, there is no right or wrong answer. It depends on things like your age, your overall health status, and the specific health conditions that you're facing that may lead you to the point that your heart is no longer beating. It's also really important to know what resuscitation actually entails. We call this ACLS or advanced cardiac life support. So it is going to be a combination of chest compressions, which can be physically really brutal. We very commonly break ribs when we perform chest compressions. It also involves shocks, medications that we're giving through a IV line or sometimes even a line that goes into your bone if you don't have an IV line. It also involves intubation, so putting a tube down your trachea or windpipe and then attaching that to a mechanical ventilator in the ICU if you do make it through the resuscitation in the initial period. Now, a lot of people who are of advanced age or dealing with a terminal illness like end-stage metastatic cancer, end-stage lung disease, end-stage heart disease will say, wow, I really do not want that because the likelihood that I would survive such a brutal procedure is so low that it is not worth it to me. But someone who is young and healthy, who if they had a freak thing happen that is reversible and we're able to reverse that thing, could live for years or decades longer, may decide that they want those things. So me personally, I would like an attempt at resuscitation if something happened to me out of the blue that was unexpected and reversible. But if I was diagnosed with a terminal illness that wasn't reversible and the cause of my cardiac arrest was related to that terminal illness, I would not want to be resuscitated. It is a brutal process that is not worth it for many, many people. And unfortunately, way too many people go through it because they don't know what it entails. I think for most people, we would actually prioritize a peaceful and natural death when we know that our time has come. That's why I think it's so important that people know that they have an option here. They do not have to, by default, go through this resuscitation process. Some people may call it CPR. What I was really describing is what I said, advanced cardiac life support. So if you do not want that, it is totally reasonable to tell your doctor that you want to have a do not resuscitate or DNR status on your medical record.